Hey there, everyone. Welcome to my book review of The Medina Device. Medina? I'll just pronounce it Medina from here on out. I have no clue exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced. Before I begin the review, though, I want to give you two disclaimers. First of all, I agreed to be part of a book tour for this book hosted by fellow Canadian booktuber Eric from Break Even Books. As part of my participation, I was given access to a digital ARC of the book, ARC being short for Advanced Reader Copy. And this is in exchange for doing either a feature on the book or doing an honest review. In my case, I chose to go the review route. Number two is, I have never read a thriller prior to reading this book. I mean, technically, some of the vampire books I read could be considered thrillers. But in terms of action or espionage type thrillers, I haven't read any. So I have no experience with those types of books whatsoever, and therefore my review is going to focus primarily on other aspects such as plot or character, not the beats that make a thriller what it is, if that makes any sense. So The Medina Device is an award-winning debut novel from author T.J. Champitto. It's an espionage thriller told from third person and from multiple perspectives over the course of the book. For the majority of this book, the primary characters are a trio of protagonists who together form a little close-knit group called the Huntsman's Club. The leader of the group is Cameron Lyle, who's an ex-Navy SEAL. Then you have Michael Lyle, Cameron's brother. And then you have Trip Montgomery, who's the youngest of the group, and a hacker whose older brother, Mark, was a Navy SEAL alongside Cameron and was killed on the field of battle. So the Huntsman's Club, essentially, they do a Robin Hood type thing. They steal a lot of money, like millions of dollars, from corrupt corporations and organizations, and then they donate 90% of it to charities or very worthy causes that assist people who are less fortunate. The other main character you focus throughout a large chunk of the book is Rand Kershaw, who is an FBI agent who's made it his mission to track down and arrest his ghosts, so to speak, the ghosts being the Huntsman's Club themselves. Rand knows that they are doing, good things with the money that they steal, but of course, they're still doing something that is illegal, and therefore he feels they have to be brought in, regardless of how much good that illegal activity grants in the long run. Within the first 10 chapters of the book, the Huntsman's Club is blackmailed into doing a very, very risky job for a man named Rook, who is a representative of a very secretive and mysterious group called the Knights of Medina. And their job is to steal an artifact, the same artifact unearthed in the prologue of the book, which was, instead of being sold to the Knights of Medina, the person who discovered it actually sold them out and went to give it to the CIA instead. Sold it to the CIA. So the artifact is on a boat on its way to its destination, and the Huntsman's Club have to intercept that boat and get the artifact before it reaches it. They succeed, and then hit the rendezvous point to get their money, do the exchange, whatever, and then they're ambushed by CIA operatives. And that is where the book really starts to kick into high gear. I mean, the pace is pretty quick the whole way through, but it gets really quick at that point. It's especially quick considering it's a very short book. It's only 268 pages. So, for the most part, at least until it hits the very end of the book, it's just bam, 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 one beat to the next. I don't know if that's a common thing for thrillers, but at least I wasn't bored. It kept me on my toes pretty much the entire way through, which is definitely not something I was expecting. Also, the book did a very good job of making me hate the CIA operative who is determined to hunt down the Huntsman's Club for stealing the artifact. I forget his name, but he is a very, very bad guy. quite the asshole, and I hate him so much. I won't say anything else about the plot at this point, because I want this video to remain relatively spoiler-free. But I will say that there is a mild, very mild sci-fi twist toward the end, that I definitely was not expecting. Like, I knew because there was a mysterious artifact in there, something would change up and something would change the dynamic of everything. But it definitely wasn't what I thought it would be. For the book being as short as it is, I didn't expect to get attached to the characters real strongly, but I did want there to be some kind of connection between the characters in terms of relationships and stuff like that. I would say the author did a relatively good job with that. I feel like Cam, Mike, and Trip are a tight-knit group of buddies who just want to, leave their mark on the world. They want to do a good thing, especially for Cam, who has a wife and 2 daughters at home, and then there's Trip, who recently got engaged to his girlfriend. They want to be a positive influence on the world, even if it means doing criminal activity in order to do it. It was interesting to follow Rand, the FBI agent, as well, especially when his story collides with that of the Huntsman's Club. Which is not too long after we start following Mr. Asshole CIA agent. Really hate that guy. One thing I really have to give the author credit for is he's not afraid to injure or kill characters. There are multiple characters that die over the course of the book, not necessarily the ones you would expect either. There was at least one that threw me for a loop a little bit. And then there's a torture scene later on as well. It's not too graphic, but it does get a bit rough. I have great respect for an author, especially a debut author, who's willing to go to those lengths, because many authors, especially including seasoned authors, they're afraid to do stuff like that. They're afraid to put their characters through the ringer, and I'm really happy that Champitto doesn't back away from that or shy away from that at all. While I didn't have a problem with the plot for the most part, I did feel that the end of the book was a bit abrupt. Just a little too abrupt. I felt like it could have used a little bit more. I'm not sure where or how exactly. But even by the breakneck pacing standards of the rest of the book, it just felt a little too sudden. Still, all in all, considering this book is really far out of the range of what I usually like to read, I did enjoy it. I thought it was a good book. I gave it a 3 stars on Goodreads, a 3.5 on the Story Graph. I do recommend this book if thrillers are your type of thing to read, or if you're looking for just something that's a really quick read. I do feel this book will be worthy of your time. And seriously, considering, again, that this is a debut novel, it's really quite good. I probably would have rated it higher if it was more my type of thing, but, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a fair bit, and I'm really glad I had the opportunity to pick this one up. I would like to thank Eric from Break Even Books for allowing me to partake in this book tour he set up. And with that, I would like to thank you for watching this video. I post a new one on Tuesdays and Fridays. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye!